Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. And on today's episode of They're Chasing After White Men Again, um, we are going to cover this trend, the bad wig, soft life, or hard wig, soft life, or crunchy wig, soft life trend that our sisters, black women, and that's across the diaspora at this point, so it's not just a black American thing, are on. So you know the joke that goes on in the black community that black women started um about black women who have, their wig kind of out of sorts, and how they're oftentimes with well-to-do white men. And this is caught on fire over the past couple months. And so the trend now is bad wigs, soft life, right? So the kind of cheap plasticky looking wigs, the wig that doesn't look like the woman put much effort in, um the wig that doesn't look like it sits right on her head or like she kind of threw it on, is a signal apparently to white men of means that a black woman is interested. Okay, so this part of the conversation has nothing to do with nothing with black men. It's none of our concern or business. But then there's the excuses. Oh, black men, something that have nothing to do with you. It got something to do with you, though, right? What is Mr. Z saying? Of course, throughout the comments from multiple videos, are black women practicing their form of respectability. What does their form of respectability look like? Oh, black men, it's throwing you under the bus. And dear black women, you kind of get thrown under the bus too, black people that are with black people. Once again, there's these people don't care about wigs, they don't care about their appearances. There's the black men are the only men that care about hair like that. Ooh, boy, y'all know black women had to lie to throw you under the bus, right? Black men, oh, you know it, you knew it. The black community is the only community that talks about these type of things. I don't know if these people ever heard of Latinos or Asians, South Asians, East Asians. I don't know if they ever heard of these people before, but apparently not. Shout out to Amanda Marianne, who is attempting to intellectualize the fact that white men are too goddamn racist. So look, what's infuriating about this conversation is watching black women, number one, throw black men under the bus because white men aren't interested. Number two, attempt to intellectualize the anti-blackness and racism of white men as black women not seeking interracial relationships with white men, and not that white men have always had access to black women. They just refuse to marry black women in any significant number. It's called racism for a reason. It's called a hierarchy for a reason. It's called white hegemony for a reason, right? Shout out to whoever it was in the comments for one of these videos that said the most in your face obvious truth ever. Wait a minute. So these same people that made laws and that fire you from the job and harass y'all for your hair, all of a sudden want to marry y'all? All of a sudden, when you walk in with a bad wig, he's attracted to you? These are the same people, because obviously, so the bad wig conversation sparked a conversation about natural hair. And of course, black women started copping pleas. When they're in their natural hair, white men are interested, unlike black men. Oh, the lies. So this is where Mr. Z comes in. Black women, you don't got to lie to kick it. Yes, you do, because we understand what society you live in, and you got to play victimhood, victim mentality. Not even victim mentality, because if you're a victim, you're a victim. You got to play victimhood with black men so that you could pull white men. So all of a sudden, black men don't like black women in their natural hair, but white men do. Ooh, the lies. Ooh. Oh, you imagine? Imagine in America, black women having the gumption, the ovaries. Ooh. We just started 2024. They already lying. Ooh. What else? That comment's older than 2024, but still, we're in 2024. They're lying. Oh, you imagine black women saying that unlike black men, white men like to see black women in their natural hair, their natural state. Oh, woo! Because remember, it's black men that don't hire black women because black women are wearing their natural hair. Remember, it's black men that make fun of black women's natural hair. Ooh. Ooh, it's black men that haven't been begging black women to keep their hair natural for the past 30 some odd years when they really started perming and wearing wigs and wearing relaxers and et cetera, et cetera. Ooh, it's black men that are not interested in black women with the dookie braids, right? And the Janet Jackson braids. Black men don't find that attractive. Ooh. Black men don't find dreads and locks attractive. Black men don't find black women in their 4C natural hair attractive. Black men don't find black women with the buzz cut attractive. Black women with the low haircut attractive. Ooh, you imagine. Imagine black women coming out their mouth like this, y'all. Ooh, the lies. Ooh, the lies. Hey, y'all don't got a lie to kick it. Just go pull you the white man. You imagine in the 21st century, black women acting like it's black men. This lets you know. This lets you know they know what they're doing. They are purposely lying on black men to appeal to white men, to seem quote unquote respectable, to seem like, and this is where, once again, getting under Mr. Z's skin, pun intended, you have to speak about black men as in black men are immature. Black men care about appearance. Black men are unlike other men. They're kind of effeminate, so they care about hair and hair texture and hairstyle and hair upkeep. Unlike white men, unlike South Asian men, unlike East Asian men, unlike Latino men of varying different ethnicities, unlike indigenous men, black men care about hair and upkeep because they're shallow and immature. The respectability, woo! And they gotta douse the respectability with some racism and anti-blackness, right? Right? They gotta douse it with some respectability and some anti-blackness. They gotta imply, suggest, and some just outright say that black men are effeminate, unlike these other real men. You know it. You know it. Oh, because black men didn't love Lauryn Hill with the dreads. Ooh, right? Nope. Black men don't find Lupita attractive with her natural hair. Nope, nope. Oh, and dark skin. Oh, wait, natural 4C hair, right? Black men didn't defend the African model that white people, that includes white men, were making fun of her lips. Y'all remember that commercial a few years ago where they showed a very clearly darker skinned African woman's lips, those full ass sexy ass lips, and white people, that includes white men, were making fun of it. But all of a sudden, white men respect black women in their features and black men don't. Because black men are the self-haters. Yeah, that's it. Watching Amanda Marianne, cute, right? Cutie, intellectualize this. Watching other black women intellectualize this. Ooh, could y'all just chase after the white man and leave black men alone, please? Oh, go after your rich white men. You don't got a lot to kick it, Craig. Yes, you do. Because we all know what society, what planet, what country we live in, what side of the world we live in. Western hemisphere, the Western world. Y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all throwing black men under the bus. See, unlike we don't want to appeal to black men anymore. Unlike them and their shallow, immature standards, we want to appeal to men, men of resources, men of means. And those men don't care about looks. They don't care about wig and hair upkeep. Oh, the lies. Woo. Whew. Right? And that's all you saw here. A bunch of black women intellectualizing their misandry towards black men. intellectualizing their white chase, right? Sounding like the nice white upper middle class, snarky a-hole, condescending white women that they wish they were, right? Imagine in the 21st century being a black woman and having the ovaries to say black men have an issue with black women's natural hair. Woo! Imagine that. When even black women, lighter skinned black women, with, without 4C hair, with 3C hair, have been harassed at work for their hair by white people, that includes white men. And then having the unmitigated gall to then turn around and say black men have an issue with black women's hair. Imagine that. Ooh. Imagine in the 21st century pining and begging white men of means to consider you for marriage so much that you straight up lie about the history between black men and black women over the past couple centuries. Not forget the past couple centuries. You straight up lie about the relationship between black men and black women and white men over the past 5-6 decades. Throughout the comments, y'all will see black women chastising other black women and black men for attempting to shame them, because what they see it is, these wigs aren't bad. Y'all are just jealous. Y'all are just making fun of these black women because they're with white men. This is the black community's way of shaming black women who want to be in interracial relationships. Oh, woo, boy, that, hey, white men, but hey, y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it. Good job. Good job. The way I've seen women of color hop, jump, skip, tie themselves in the pretzels, right? If y'all never read them comments by Asian women talking about Asian men, we're no longer in colonial era. You don't own me. Anything for the white penis, boy. They will throw their men under the bus for the white penis so quick and fast. Oh man, they will insult the men of their race so quick and fast. Excuse me, to let white men know, hey, look, I'm available. I'm here. Look, you need me to throw black men under the bus? I'll do it. You need me to throw black, Latino men or Asian men under the bus? I'll do it. Anything for the white peen. Anything to have those mixed kids. Anything for the lifestyle. Please, for the love of God. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. The reason why Mr. Z, excuse me, is covering this today, the reason why I'm covering this today, it's not because of black women chasing after white men. We already know this is a thing. We already know they're going to intellectualize their misandry against black men to attempt to appeal to white men. We already know, right? They are going to say anything about black men. Black men, and the machismo, then they're going to turn around and say black men are hyper masculine in order to make up for a lack of masculinity. Then they're going to say black men are effeminate and soft. And they're going to anything to appeal to white men, whether it's in a more hood, ghetto vernacular, or whether they're intellectualizing it, and using 4 and 5 syllable words. It doesn't matter. Anything to appeal to white men. We already know that. That's not the issue. But once we get to straight up lies and fabrications, oh, once we start being dishonest, now that's a different conversation. Once we start rewriting history, now that's a different conversation. And that's where we are with this conversation about black women's hair. All of a sudden, white men don't care about black women's hair and upkeep, and they love seeing black women in their natural hair state. More importantly, unlike black men, who you imagine. You imagine. We can't even say this is a pattern It's a common occurrence of black women. Y'all can't complain about DeSantis or Greg Abbott. That's Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Florida Governor um, um, Ron DeSantis. Y'all can't complain. Dear black women, do not complain about them rewriting black history because you're doing it too. You're engaging in it also. No black person in America, no black person in Africa, no black person in Western Europe, no black person in Canada should be complaining about white people trying to whitewash black history, particularly concerning the past 1,000 years or so, 2,000 years, 3,000 years, forever, because you like doing it also. To appeal to white men, you are fully not just capable, willing, enthusiastically willing to rewrite the past century or so of black history, particularly in America, to appeal to white men. You are perfectly okay with throwing black, not even perfectly okay. You are too eager to throw black men under the bus, to lie on black men, to appeal to white men. All of a sudden, black men are the reason why black women wear hair relaxers and these wigs that are not consistent with their actual real hair texture. All of a sudden, it's black men are the reason. These lesser beings, these lesser male figures. Unlike white men don't care about something as juvenile as black women's upkeep in their hair and their hair texture, and whether this is a put together wig or not, or how much time this black woman spent on her wig or her hair in general. No, that's black men, those lesser male beings. Thank you, Dre, for reminding me about that. Because a decade plus ago was a black man that many of you hate, Tommy Sotomayor, calling black women's wigs hair hats. Wait a minute. Wasn't this the same Tommy Sotomayor that said when his baby mom either permed or blew out his daughter's hair for one of her birthdays, he cried a little bit? He was mad about it? Huh. So this is a black man making fun of black women's wigs because he would rather see them in their natural hair, and felt a certain way, felt sad and angry because his daughter's mother strained her hair for a birthday. A decade plus later, we have black women lying to appeal to white men, lying on black men to appeal to white men by saying black men are the reason why black women wear wigs, hair relax and straighten their hair, and do all of this hair upkeep. Huh. Black women is not the white man chase. That's disgusting enough. It's not the white baller chase, right? Pun intended on the ball part. It's not that. It's the lying on black men to appeal to white men. It's the rewriting of history to appeal to white men, right? It's calling black men both hyper masculine, effeminate, shallow, immature, anything to appeal to white men, particularly upper middle class and above white men. Particularly in the American context, it is well documented how black men feel about black women and their hair. Black men have been around for black women and these, yes, cheap wigs, expensive wigs, braids, the pixie cut, natural hair, no hair, buzz cut, short hair, hair down to your backside, different colors of hair, the greens, the blues, the reds, the fuchsias, the pinks. Now the storm from X-Men grays and whites. Black men have been here for it all. Black men have had sex with it all, married it all, and yet black women turn around ha 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 and say black men are the reason why they're self-conscious about their hair. Oh, you imagine. Unlike white men, black men care and make fun of black women and their hair. Oh, you imagine. Because it was black men making fun of Gabby Douglas's hair in the middle of the Olympics, wasn't it? It was black men. Straight black men were the ones doing that. Not black women, straight black men. It was straight black men making fun of Simone Biles Owens' hair for a wedding picture. It was straight black men, huh? It wasn't black women. Nope. It was straight black men. If you could find more than a dozen straight black men that said anything about her hair, I'll give you $100. Once again, if black men are at fault, we make sure to say black men in a vacuum. If black women are at fault, we say black people, or we still find a way to say black men in a vacuum. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Oh, the lies. You imagine the need to appeal to racist, rich, elite white men so bad that you're fully in it now. We will rewrite history. We'll throw black men. It's not like black men are off the planet. No, we are going to rewrite history and lie on black men in their faces right now. We will be rewriting the history while we make it right now. There are stories from not too long ago of black women being called to HR, being fired, trying to take the company or the corporation they work for to court for firing them for their hair. White men firing black women for their hair. Show me the place where black men did that. Show me. Black people have started over 2 million businesses from 92 to 2012. Show me the instance where a black man was the head of a business, had a black female employee who walked in with her natural hair, and he fired her or wrote her up. Show me. And these same black women turn around and say black men don't appreciate their hair texture. Unlike white men of memes. Oh, you imagine. Then you have Amanda Marianne, who's just straight up ignoring the fact that white men have had sexual access to black women for over 5 decades since Loving versus Virginia. And here are all these black women waxing poetic and aspiring to be in relationships and marriages with well-to-do white men just for the lifestyle. Not that they see these men as human beings. It's just them being walking wallets. Right? Huh. And instead of Amanda Marianne being honest that white men have had a whole lot of sex with a whole lot of black women, but refuse to put rings on their fingers, it's black women being encouraged not to be with white men. Black men and black women and white men looking at each other from afar like they've been socialized to not want to be with each other. It's not white men saying, yeah, I'm going to protect the white supremacy. that my ancestors went around the planet and raped and pillaged and conquered for, I'm going to protect that by having white children, namely white sons. It's not that. No, it's not that. Nope. I want to maintain the hierarchy. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's because white men have been socialized not to find black women appealing. The same white man that has his member down this black woman's throat, right? Yeah, that's it. Hey, black women, y'all don't got a lot to kick it. Yes, you do. So we going for broke now. We just gonna rewrite the rules in the history, and we already knew this because these are the same people that shoehorned in the bigger long character in the Harriet movie. So we already know they are willing and able to rewrite history and to throw black men under the bus, to lie on black men to appeal to white folks. We know that already. You see what Mr. Shook to you says? Back in the 80s, early 90s, I remember us trying to shame chicks to stop putting phony ponies and go glows of brown in their hair. uh and then Mr. Shook to you continues and said, "We tried, brothers, to no avail." But 30 and 40 years later, Mr. Shook to you, now they're lying, right? Now they're lying and saying black men are the reason why they were wearing these wigs and whatnot, and the hair relaxers, because this is what black men wanted. Not them attempting to appeal to white men all through the 80s and 90s and failing at it. Well, I mean, y'all did get piped, right? Shout out to Uncle Lester, that's light skinned with the freckles and don't know who his daddy is, but he's light as hell. Oops. Huh? Black women. Oh, so all of this really was inspired by um a television show coming out of Britain of a ex-model, Cameroonian ex-model who's with some oil tycoon, white oil tycoon, and they have like some 9 or so kids, and they're married, and um, and so black women took her and her wig, which okay, the wig, the wig is a wig, but not appealing to Z, but okay, and they said, what is it with black women and bad wigs with well-to-do white men? And they took that and ran with it, right? What's very interesting is listening to black women speak as if they are no longer holding black men down. They are no longer going to attempt to appeal to black men or be black men's ride or die. They are moving on to greener pastures. They want to live the luxurious and soft life. They want to be taken care of. They no longer want to be in the field. They no longer want to be working hard, 40, 50 plus hours a week, grueling and muling to maintain the black community and these black families that these loser black men leave them with. It's interesting listening to black women speak like they just started thinking and feeling this way, not that they've been regulated to that position by the dominant society, although they've been trying to dig themselves out of that for decades. There is also more and more data coming out that even with black women's um, increasing degree rate, their wealth hasn't appreciably increased over the past 3 and so decades. There's more and more data coming out about that too. Dear black women, they're playing in your faces. It's not black men, it's those same white men you keep on pining over. Black women, Jeff Bezos could have married anyone. He could have cheated on Mackenzie Bezos with anyone. He could have remarried anyone. He married him a wait for it, an Exotical, a old Exotical. Bill Gates could be with anyone. Let's see if he pulls up with a black woman. Huh? Name the billionaires. The white ones. Huh? You know, it's this rewriting of history that always puts black men in a bad light. And black women are engaging in it also. Black women are engaging in it also. You imagine living in America and black women speaking as though black men are the ones that was making fun of their hair. And we see this with the Serena Williams story, right? Yeah, of course Serena's with Alexis Ohanian, a white man, because black men were the ones calling Serena monkey, not white men, right? It wasn't white men calling Serena monkey. It wasn't white men calling Serena a man. It wasn't white men saying that Serena was built like a man. Oh no. It was black men. You mean black men like Jamie Foxx? Uh-oh. And N.M. Hawkins says George Lucas of Star Wars. We know about George Lucas of Star Wars is married to a black woman. There are about 3,000 billionaires, N.M. Hawkins, on planet Earth. The majority of them being white and white men. Yeah. I'm just saying. Right? And George Lucas happens to be one of them. Y'all got to be honest about the world that white men created and where that puts black women. Black women really think they can sex their way and interracial marry their way into liberation. Oh yeah, and throw black men under the bus and insult black men into liberation. How did Mr. Z forget about that one? You know, we are watching these people rewrite history in our faces in an appeal to white men, all in an appeal to rich white men. To speak about black women's hair, and black men know how black women feel about their hair. And to watch as black women rewrite history in black men's faces. You imagine black women rewriting history about who's the one that truly makes them feel insecure about their hair texture, in their nose, in their lips, in their skin tone. Hysterical. And Hitflix says George Lucas, so all black women are going to join Jabba's harem. Hitflix, if you ain't here, Mr. Z been saying make polygamy legal. I've been saying it. Women in general want to keep on talking about these super high volume men, these uber wealthy rich men. Mr. Z I have been saying it for the longest. Y'all want these dudes so bad, let's make polygamy legal so y'all could be 10 and 15 and 20 and 100 deep on the rich dudes, particularly the rich white dudes and the rich Asian dudes that you're going to have to hold your nose while he's plowing your cervix. Right? The rich, short Asian dudes with the pot belly, right? And the high blood pressure, the one that you wouldn't look at twice, but because he's rich, yeah, I have no problem with black women being 37 deep on the Chinese guy that's worth $400 million, right? On the Chinese guy that's worth $600 million, $1 billion. Y'all want that lifestyle so bad? I think we should make polygamy legal in America, right? All of y'all, before the whole Cassie story, y'all ain't nothing wrong with y'all being 12 and 13 and 15 deep on Diddy. Go fight Beyonce so you could be one of his wives, right? Y'all could all be getting cheated on by Jeff Bezos. Go ahead, right? Tanya TKO spoke about this like it was a real thing. Yeah, and it's interesting. I really think that we should actually work towards polygamy being legal, so women can show you their true colors, right? And N.M. Hawkins says there is nothing wrong with or unusual for black women seeking wealthy men of any race to live a comfortable life. This is what I'm saying, N.M. Hawkins. I think you miss what I'm saying. I am okay with black women fulfilling women's natural state, right? They're trying to date up, marry up, hypergamous life, right? Black women and women's biological imperative. I get it, right? The social climb, I get it. What I'm saying, and this is what I want every black man, I don't want y'all to have no place to fall back on. I want, if you fail at the white man chase, the rich white man chase, you end up doing that for the rest of your life. There is no fallback plan. You stay single with your rose toy or go eat some vagina. I want you to do that all through your 20s. If you can, maybe your early 30s. And if you catch a rich white dude or any white dude, then you go and live that life. Asian dude, Latino dude, great. But if you fail at it, you don't get to wake up at 37 years old and be like, oh, I came to an epiphany and, I realized love is love. And, I started dating black men and it's the best thing I ever did. No. And to be frank with you, I think that black men should give that to every woman. Black, Asian, Latina, white women. You don't get black men no longer. Black men are closed for business at being people's fall back plan, fall black plan. So, N.M. Hawkins, I am perfectly okay with black women chasing after the elite, rich, racist white dude, so y'all can have y'all little mixed identity problem having children, right? I am perfectly okay with that. You can move in the suburbs and raise a little mixed Hitler. But if you fail at that endeavor, there is no black man. Oh, and by the way, you don't get to cheat on your garbage sex having ass white husband with black men too. Nope. No more late nights at work, or I went to go jog and it took a little bit longer, but really you cheat on your white husband with Mr. Mandingo who you think ain't ish. Oh no. Right? And if y'all think black women aren't engaging in that, y'all got another thing coming. Haha. Pun intended. Right? Y'all don't get to cheat on Mr. Small Hat garbage sex dude with Mandingo? Nope. Right? So we have to call a thing a thing. What black women are showing us more and more is how far they are willing to go for the white man in general, particularly the white man with some memes, and how they are willing to straight up lie on black men and black men's image, right? Rewrite the narrative, rewrite the stories, straight up lie on black men for the lifestyle, right? Straight up lie on black men for the lifestyle. And M. Hawkins says black men make black women the fallback plan all the time. Not according to who's having children with who. Oops. Huh? Not according to who's having the oops babies from non-black people. Y'all gotta come up with better talking points, N.M. Hawkins. We got easily researchable data now. This is an internet click away. This is 60 seconds away. Y'all could pull that in the 90s before high-speed internet. Pull it in the 80s. Right? It's okay, black women. We understand what country we live in. We understand what's been going on this planet for the past 3 and 4 and 5 centuries. We get it. The white man has your mind way before he has your body. That's cool. We understand. We get it. We get it. But black women, you could stop acting like you actually give a F about black men. The ones of you that are on this chase, the ones of you that want to sit next to white women, actually you want to kick white women off the beauty standard. As I said before, replace Margot Robbie with Ashley Acuna on the European beauty standard. Have fun trying to do that. I get it. But you could at least try not to lie on black men. But you have to. How else can you appeal to white men if you don't show them that you too are anti-black male by lying on black men? Right? How else can you appeal to white men? You got to talk about black men like they're immature and they're shallow and they care about hair, unlike the white men that created the rules that said no black women in their natural hair state, to the point where we had to make a whole movement about it to shame those same white men that black women want. Oops. Hmm. Hmm. You imagine? We're talking about hair. And black women are saying black men, and the black community cares about their hair and makes fun of their hair. Man, black people, you give non-black folks all the forgiveness in the world, and black people you keep on a real short leash. One black man makes fun of you one time, one black boy makes fun of you one time, and it's F black men and boys forever. White men could stand you up on dates. White men could Netflix and chill you for years, right? White men could have you out here skateboarding on your wedding day and have you fall on your face on camera. If y'all never seen that video, it's sad and funny at the same time. White men could have you getting arrested while y'all doing naughty things in the car and you get arrested and he doesn't. That's a true story. Huh? White men could have you out here while he's cheating on his wife as a police officer with you, and then you're bickering with his wife on social media. Two black women fighting over the white peen. Woo! I'm just saying. Hmm? Black women. Woo! White men could bust you out, tell the truth about sending you back to your mama house as a rich family of a woman, a world famous singer, and you are famous and a singer yourself. Your white fiance could bust you out, tell the truth about your depression and how junky your car is and how messed up your life is, and you still go back to him and call the other black woman a crackhead. Even though the other black woman is telling you that all she had was a little couple of one night stands with your fiance, and your fiance was telling her all type of secrets and truths about you. Black women. Mm-mm-mm. Black women, white Olympians out here having sex with you, cosplaying black culture with grills in their mouth during the Olympics, then turn around and call you too ghetto, too hood while he's shoving his penis down your throat, behind your back, insulting you. Shout out to Ryan Lochte. Whew. Okay, black women. Hit flick said, damn, who was that? I'm talking the story before that. I was talking about Tamar Braxton. Hmm. Oh, and all of this is kind of recent. We're not even going all the way back. Huh? We're not even going all the way back with black women talking about once he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. Who y'all talking about? Kid Rock? Oops. Who y'all talking about? Eminem? Yikes. Who y'all talking about? Machine Gun Kelly? Dope. Huh? Who y'all talking about? Brad Pitt? Huh? Who y'all talking about? Bill Clinton? Oh, damn, Z? Huh? Oh, y'all don't know. Huh? You mean the white men that when they're around black women, they piping black women, then they get on and make some money and get famous, like Paul Ryan, oops, and you'll never see them touch a black woman again. Huh? And these people then turn around, talk crazy about black women and black women's hair, and black women say black men are the problem. Black men are the immature ones that care about hair and hair upkeep and looks. And one of the reasons why black women like being with white men is that white men aren't so shallow. Don't you know? Huh? White men don't care about that. They don't know about black women's hair and black women's hair upkeep, right? N.M. Hawkins, have you ever opened a history book? N.M. Hawkins says older generations of black men are colorists. They strongly prefer light-skinned women. This is a research fact. And we are speaking about black women appealing to white men by throwing black men under the bus, by saying black men have a problem with black women's hair and hair texture. Now, you brought up colorism in this conversation. Do I need to remind you that it is white folks that make sure that that color hierarchy sticks in Latin America? Uh oh. Do I need to remind you about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings? Pretty damn light skin. Oops. Charlottesville is named after who again? Queen Charlotte. Queen Charlotte was what? Portuguese, black, mix, light skin. Did you know I'm Haitian descent, right? Do you want me to tell you about all the light skinned Haitians and what was going on? Excuse me, during the Haitian Revolution? Huh? Colorism. Are you sure you want to talk about colorism while we talking about white folks and black women? Colorism. You're saying colorism, and yet Malika Andrews is out here running amok, and I don't hear y'all saying anything. White man, looser curled, mixed-ish black woman. Huh? Echoes from black women. No, actually, not even echoes. Silence from black women. Huh. Latin America has whole hierarchies based off of skin tone and hair texture and lineage. Literally say mejor la raza. And black women are talking about black men and colorism. Amara La Negra said it was her mom's family. Wait a minute, the white Latino side. Oops. That was telling her, don't end up with a black man, particularly a black man of your same skin color and skin tone. The dark skin black woman said the white side of her family was saying that. Ooh. But black men and colorism, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all gonna need new talking points, black women. And Bruce on Wayne says it's always Jermaine's fault. Always, bro. Always. And thank you for the super chat. Always Jermaine's fault. Absolutely. Right. And Naaman says Andrews is small hat on her mother's side and black on her father's side. And we could definitely see which side definitely had the predominant. Well, actually, you never know. With this like second and third generation of like these sometimes from the burbs mixed-ish, sometimes not mixed-ish black people, I can't even say it's from the white side of their family. Not anymore. Not when it comes to like the Malika Andrews of the world, because how do we know that the Malika Andrews of the world didn't get anti-black rhetoric from the black side of her family too? If they're second and third generation trying to climb up the ladder, respectability, suburban black folks, right? We have watched, let's be honest, shout out to Sarge Willie Pete. We have watched Sarge Willie Pete over the past over a decade fight against that. We have literally watched that because them suburban Negroes get hit with all type of respectability, white supremacy. And they start saying the same type of dumb crap that the white racist folks say under the guise, once again, of respectability. Do y'all remember? Who did I say that to? Who did I say that? Was it Rael? Maybe yeah, it was Rael. I said that too on the Roger Reports channel. Respectability is the gateway drug to anti-blackness. And no, Mr. Z doesn't have a problem with black people being respectable. That's not the argument. What I'm saying is, you keep talking that, I guarantee you we're going to end up in black people ain't ish. Black people are the problem. We are worst enemy. I promise you. It's a hop, jump, skip away. Right? It's a hop, jump, skip away. Y'all over here talking about black women's wigs and how non-black people, namely white men, don't care about their hair and their hair texture, and you know, they like and love and respect black women's features. Meanwhile, we have footage of black women crying in their black college educated women or college attending women crying in their car because the white dude, frat bro, used them the way they should be used. Ooh, Z, you said that. Hey, you put yourself out there. Dark-skinned black woman. Huh? Y'all gotta let. Where did we? Because this is always the way it's said, right? Like, older white men, yeah, they're racist, and yeah, but their sons and grandsons, no. Meanwhile, just a few years ago, were white folks making fun of this black woman and her lips that were put up on an ad. Beautiful full lips. White dudes making fun of her lips. Meanwhile, the excuse me, the same young white men who are not anti-black and who aren't racist, unlike their fathers and grandfathers, are out here calling black people the N-word to their face in Charlottesville. To their face. Dylan Roof was what, 21 when he walked up in that church? The shooter in excuse me, in New York that walked, excuse me, the shooter in New York that walked into the grocery store was what, 22, 23, something like that? Young again? Huh? Huh? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. When white dudes are getting black vagina, they're not racist. Wait a minute. Florida story. White cop, white Latino cop, exchanging racist text messages with co-workers. Whole black girlfriend he piping on. Oops. Huh? Anybody want to say anything about Daniel Holesclaw? Yikes. White Asian mix. Right? White Asian mix. Whole white girlfriend, white fiance, if I'm not mistaken. Sexually assaulting black women. Right? And no placeholder says another year of defending black men rep from black women. Shaking my head. Apparently. Because they just can't chase after white men in peace. They got to throw black men under the bus and insinuate that black men, and just straight up say that black men, unlike white men, care about hair and hair texture and hair and features and skin tone and this and that, unlike white men. Translation: black men are shallow, immature, and they care about these vain things, unlike mature, real men Real men like white men, especially rich white men, are too preoccupied with conquering, raping, pillaging the world to care about these little shallow and vain things like a black woman's hair texture. Unlike these shallow, colorist, featurist, texturist, vain black men who have nothing better to do because they're losers and they don't own or control anything, right? White men, particularly white men of means, don't care about a black woman's hair texture or features, or as a matter of fact, they prefer black women in their natural hair state, unlike black men who've been complaining about black women in their wigs and asking black women to keep their natural hair and wear their hair in braids and, you know, lock up their hair. Unlike the black men, who've been asking black women to keep their hair the way it came out of their head. The rewriting of history, y'all, just to appeal to white men. And once again, thank you for the super chat, no placeholder. The rewriting of history, y'all. Black women. Oh, keep on saying it. You ain't got a lot to kick it, Craig, but apparently you do. Because the best way to appeal to white men is by throwing black men under the bus, insulting black men, belittling black men, lying on black men, rewriting history. Right? Rewriting history. All the stories of black women being fired, being harassed at work for their hair by white folks, that includes white men. All the quote unquote microaggressions, right? All of a sudden, it's not a thing anymore because now we're attempting to appeal to those same white men so that they can marry us and provide us with a lifestyle. Huh? All of a sudden, those same white men, they're not colorists or featurists or texturists. Nope. Hmm. You imagine? And N.M. Hawkins says black men justify why they like for black women. Excuse me. Let's say that again. Black men justify why they like for white women by listing the problem they have with black women. Black men rarely state what they like about white women. Black men are not chasing after white women. That's why there's a passport bros and a SYSBM. Black men are attempting to get the hell away from westernized women in general. Wait a minute. White men are trying to get away from westernized women also. Oops. And Asian men and Latino men. The right rich elite men can have y'all. He groomed y'all. He primed y'all to be little neoliberal, materialistic a-hole consumers. He can have all of y'all. That's why there's a passport bros. Ain't nobody trying to be with no goddamn westernized white woman. If we were gay, then we would be with the rich white dude too. And M. Hawkins said they're chasing anything that's not black. That's why the majority of black men that are married to black women. By far, that part. The majority of children being born in the black community are still fully black. That part. Huh. Wait a minute. Black men have less mixed children than black women. Uh-oh. That part. Oops. Yeah. Right? I don't know, N.M. Hawkins. I don't know. Hmm? Here's a question for you. Do women, that includes black women, see men as human beings? Or are we just walking resources and overglorified guard dogs? Are we just products? Are we just things to be used until we break and then y'all discard us? Or is the black woman that said, I miss the days when men would just, what, work, die, and leave you their life insurance money? Hmm? Or the other black woman that says, protect, provide, and shut up? Huh? Or the other black woman, Jesus Christ, Mr. Z, how many of these do you have? That said that if I earn more than you, I will misuse you or mistreat you, did she say? Huh. And him says, I hate when you say men are walking wallets. You right, we're walking ATM machines. Do you hate it because it's accurate, or do you hate it because you think that's what men should be? And it's weird hearing me say it like it's a bad thing. That men, black men, actually want to be treated and think of as human beings, not just doings, right? Human being is for black women and other women and men. Black men are human doings. Hey, thank you. Thank you for being honest. It is a man's role in this society to be providers. It is weird. No, not since second wave feminism. Go talk to your local feminists, white feminists mainly, some black ones. They're probably lesbian. And go talk to your around the way capitalists. Both of them have made sure that women, 40% of women, out earn their male counterparts. That's women in general. Have fun looking for those hyper providers in that environment, right? And M. Hawkins said most women do treat their provider men very well. The divorce rate is different, but go off, right? Men still out earn women, and yet women are still falling for divorce at 80%, 70%. I don't know. And Mr. Shook to you says, and thank you for the super chat, black men for the past 30 years have done a better job maintaining their healthy, natural hair than their counterparts. I think it's an example of setting, but I think it's an example of setting, but what do I know? Look, I, to be honest with you, it goes back to what I said before. Black men aren't jealous of white men. That's why. Black men don't want to be white men. Would black men like the power? Yes. Are we going to go rape and pillage and conquer and destroy the world for it? Probably not. Would black men like the wealth and the prestige? Absolutely. Once again, are we going to go rape, pillage, and conquer and destroy the planet for it? Probably not. Unlike black women are truly envious of white women's position. And that's the difference. We don't care to look like the white man because we don't want to be him. Black women want to be the white woman, period. That's the fundamental difference. Black women want to be the white woman, and they are willing to do anything to appeal to any man, mainly the white man, who they think or feel will put them in that position. Particularly, and I'm speaking not so much phenotypically, I'm speaking about politically, socially, and economically. And the wigs are just an appeal at the white man. And that's all they're saying. And thank you for saying it in a roundabout way, black women. Thank you for finally, even though you're trying to blame black men, thank you for finally. Y'all notice black women be snitching on themselves so much since social media popped up? Oh, they be snitching on themselves. Now they always try to frame it, once again, like it's Jermaine's fault. But you let them talk long enough, and black women are admitting the wig is an appeal to rich white dudes. Thank you. Now y'all can keep on trying to. Well, a well-maintained wig. All you gonna get, and by the way, I'm gonna link it in the description also. A black woman straight up said, "All of y'all have y'all wigs nice and laid and looking nice, and all you gonna get is the dude that works at the Amazon Center. Let's call a thing a thing. She means the black man. She means the black man. But these crunchy, old, tired wigs, they get in the rich white dudes. Exactly. Thank you for admitting the wig is for the white dude. The laid hair is to appeal to the white man. Thank you for admitting it in your roundabout, backwards way. I knew if we would let you talk long enough, eventually you would slip and be honest. Thank you, black women. Right? And Dr. Thunder says, LOL, we're simpatico, Mr. Z. I'm doing this topic today when 1% man hunting goes wrong. Ask for a limited Amex while digging for gold. Right. And I'm Dr. Thunder. I just said that if he's still here, I know his stream is starting soon. I just said that a minute ago to NM Hawkins. Y'all don't get to use black men as the fall black plan. No more using black men as the fall black plan. No more cheating on your lame sex having small hat husband. And your lame sex having white dude. Ain't no more. No more of that. Your super hairy South Asian dude. Ain't no more cheating on him with us. Nope. Dear black men, I really would love for us to stop being Splackavelli. For those of you that never heard the song before, some of you younger millennials and maybe you Gen Z, Splackavelli. No more Splackavelli. No more side dude. Right? Let those black women stay where they are, faking orgasms. Right? Pass them on to fine. You want to be with somebody black, cheating on you? We'll pass you on to the lesbian sisters. Go ahead, lesbian black women. Go ahead. You have that. Hey, NM Hawkins, thank you for the truth. And NM Hawkins says, if a man is not making a woman's life easy, he is worthless. Hey, I love it. Hey, for all of you that remember Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, Kevin, saying, hey, if a man came into your life and he did not change your life significantly, what financially, would you leave him? What did most of all, not even just about all those women said yes. And there you go. And there you go. Thank you. Unfortunately for you, NM Hawkins, and most women in general in America, your white overlords, them white men y'all chasing after, those elite white men, they haven't exactly made the environment conducive for what y'all are asking for. You might want to take it up with them, but y'all are too cowardly to do it. So, hey, suffer. That's all I'm saying. Suffer. Right. And continuing with what Mr. Shook to you was saying, yeah, no, and y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Yeah, Mr. Shook to you. I truly believe that black men aren't chasing after white manhood. We understand that we have to maneuver a certain way to not be murdered by the state in America. Right? We don't get these little microaggressions. We don't only get these little microaggressions and these punches. And by the way, we still get all of it. All the things that happen to black women still happen to black men. All the microaggressions, all the insults, all the digging at show, whether you're intelligent or not, whether you really know what you know, how did you get to this position in the first place? All the things that black women complain about, from the colorism to the featureism to the texturism, all of that still happen to black men. On top of that, we get murdered by the state way more than they do. And we get warehouse in prison way more than they do. Oh, and we die prematurely way more than they do. By the hands of each other, the state, by them, oops. I'm just saying, if y'all really want to talk intersectionality and use this as oppression Olympics, I'm pretty sure y'all not going to like where that turns out. For real, for real. Right? So, unlike black women, and the majority of black men are straight, so we don't have these grandiose dreams of some woman or some white man that's going to come and sweep us off our feet and take us out the struggle and provide us with a better lifestyle just because he was born with some testes and maybe 20% more muscle mass. We don't have those dreams. Hi, N.M. Hawkins. Right? We don't have those dreams. And that makes a world of, when you know you don't get to just lay up and all you're going to be expected to, if you get lucky and you win the lottery of life, you don't just get to lay up with some woman paying the bills and going to work and busting her butt, and all you got to do is fold a couple of sheets, and when she get home you give her a massage and give her some head, and that's your payment for her keeping a roof over your head. Yeah, black men don't have those type of dreams. That's some rich white man. Now, and thank you, by the way, thank you, black women, once again for being honest. Mr. Z said it. They were saying it in the comments. You know, white men don't really know any better. That's why it's essentially it's just cheaper and less taxing and less time consuming for them to end up with the white man because he's naive. He don't really understand black beauty and black beauty standards. They don't have to adhere to black beauty standards, whichever those are, because once again, black men are the garbage men of the dating world. So the beauty of ending up with white men, apparently, according to black women, is that he's naive and he don't understand black beauty standards. And so when you're with the white man, you don't have to spend forever long on these wigs. They're lying, and once again, they're trying to frame it like black men ain't ish and black men care about these things, but they're being honest in one way by saying, yeah, the beauty of being with a white dude is that it's just, he don't really know no better. I told y'all that's why they be ending up with the white dudes. They think the white dude is lame and naive and green and he got money. Beautiful. Right? Beautiful. And once again, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Shook, to you. Right? And Big Kev says, as long as they're getting married, right? Oh, wait. Oh. Black women talking about these white dudes and these Latino dudes and these Asian dudes like it's just a foregone conclusion that they're going to be secure and they're going to have the life. Meanwhile, hey, those mixed kids, though. Uh-oh. Mixed children, anyone? Without the wedding ring? Yikes. Black women were looking, well, hey, but you want to see black women blink real hard? Start telling them that black women have more mixed children than black men do. Start telling them that black women in general have more children than black men do. You want to start seeing them blink real hard. Huh? There are some truths about this planet, about America, about men and women and dating and mating dynamics. And the truth is that y'all have sex with these Latino and white dudes, let's not even bring up the Asians, that's not a thing, hoping and praying to baby trap him or hoping to throw the super fire good on him, and that's going to make his mind melt, and it doesn't work, and all you're left with is a bruised cervix, if he can even reach that far, oops, and a mixed baby with no wedding ring. Shout out to Machine Gun Kelly, black baby mama. Yikes. Huh? They have fun with you for a little while, and then they finally says, yeah, no more of that. and then y'all gotta end up getting divorced. Shout out to the South Asian dude that just what asked his wife for his black wife for a divorce what over social media. Huh? Huh? Or do we want to bring up the story of the Indian professor that had his black daughter-in-law murdered because his son had the unmitigated gall to fall in love and marry a black woman? Uh-oh. And he had that woman murdered because apparently it brought the family shame. Huh? Hmm. And N.M. Hawkins says, being a single woman or a single baby mama is better than living with a black man who is not a provider and or toxic. A black man just being there in the home is not enough. Data says otherwise. And once again, Big Kev, thank you for the super chat. Data says otherwise. What's going to be the wealth for black people by 2053 on average? Zero. Oops. Mainly because of black women. Whoopsie. They didn't say black men's wealth was that of $5. They said black women's wealth was that of $5. Uh-oh. Do we need to say it again? Black men have better credit scores than black women. Black men employ more people than black women. Black men earn more than black women. Black men have better savings rate than black women. Yikes. Yeah. And as Media Man showed us, black men start more businesses than black women. Black single men, black men that are not married, or at least the businesses in his name, better yet, and black men and black women, so that means that they're married, have more businesses. So black men have more businesses than black men that are in partnership with black women, and then black women by themselves. Oopsie. Not looking good. Not looking good at all. Hmm? Hmm? N.M. Hawkins says black men are dragging black wealth down because too many black women are unemployed. N.M. Hawkins, you know what that means? That means that you and other black women have a job to do. You know those fake crocodile tears y'all put on to get black men thrown in prison? Maybe y'all can put that on to get black men employed. Maybe if that was one of y'all things that y'all were demanding from Joe Biden instead of having this do nothing ass vice president called Kamala Harris put as VP, I said put as VP. Maybe if that's what y'all were asking for, maybe black men would be employed more and that would maybe lead to more black families. But you know, black women were rather the symbolism of Kamala Harris as VP and America's never going to elect her as president. That was more important to y'all. So, well, that's what you got. I don't know where black women think they get off thinking they don't have to lift a finger to do anything for black men. White women do it. Ooh, Mr. Z. Ooh, you said it. Ooh. Huh? Oh, wait. Y'all just think this thing just happens. No, I said it the right way, N.M. Hawkins. It's black women's job. Or y'all could continue eating vagina and being single with your rose toy. There's that. Dreaming and drooling and being a voyeur for white people in their relationships, looking through the window, watching Asian people have their little shallow pump sex. Huh? Watching white couples have sex and then watching the white wife go inside the restroom and finish herself off. Y'all could continue being voyeurs to other people in their relationships. Huh? If black women think they don't have to lift a finger for black men and boys, then y'all continue getting what y'all get, which is the majority of you either never getting married, never having children, well, more and more of y'all not having children, talking crap about black men, being the toy and the jump off for your white bosses and co-workers and Latino bosses and co-workers, engaging in same-sex loving activity, switching girlfriends out every 6 months to 9 months to 3 months, and living free and fast. Y'all can continue having that. That's cool. Right? And Adam Hawkins says black women have been helping black men for decades by advocating for them and marrying down. If black men earn more than black women, and they always have, how is it that black women are marrying down? If black men on average earn more than black women, we start more businesses than black women, we have more wealth than black women, how are black women marrying down exactly? Huh? How are black women marrying down to men that earn more than them? Black women have more debt than black men. How are black women marrying down? Huh? Black women are marrying down. And last time I checked, it's not just men in general, but even for black couples, black men are more likely to pay alimony than black women are. And yet, for divorces, right? And yet, black women are marrying down, but somehow getting money from alimony. Alimony is about who was earning more and making sure that that other spouse, ex-spouse, can maintain a certain lifestyle and doesn't get pretty much drowned out and freaking like made destitute. If black women were marrying down, then why aren't black men getting more alimony than black women are during divorce? Huh. N.M. Hawkins says, stop being disingenuous. The research shows that black women are marrying down. I am married down. Black women, excuse me, N.M. Hawkins, black women having frivolous degrees and $60,000 in student loan debt does not mean she married down. Black women marrying for love, rightfully so, and then regretting it 15 years later and wishing that she married for money, which she couldn't do because the white man ain't checking and the black man not got it like that. Her attitude is too horrible to marry. Black women regretting that they didn't marry for money instead of marrying for love doesn't mean that she married down. Right? Just because a black woman regrets that she married a man that she actually found physically attractive and that was blowing her back out and the sex is good and the tongue game is good. And then when she goes to work and see her white coworker, her white female coworker that usually be lying to her ass about the lifestyle or not being fully truthful about how that white woman is able to live the life that she does not mean that black women marry down because she's resentful of the white woman she works next to. That doesn't mean that a black woman married down. Right? There are too many famous black women who married down and are paying alimony. What do you think when women earn more than men when they're famous and rich? If a woman earns more than a man, this is happening across the board, and yet we hyper focus on the black community. Dear black women, women fought for equality. Women fought for egalitarianism. Guess what's going to come with that? That means that there are going to be some women that earn more than their male counterparts. Guess what? That means occasionally women are going to earn significantly more than their male counterparts. There's only so many uber rich, wealthy white Brad Pitts to go around. There's only so many. Leonardo DiCaprio said he only wants women under the age of 30. Unfortunately for black women and women in general, when you earn more than your male counterparts, then it is likely that you marry a man that earns less than you. That still doesn't necessarily mean you marry down, though. How much do you weigh? How is your attitude and demeanor? Are you marrying down just because you earn a couple dollars more? Maybe you have a degree and he doesn't. Maybe you have a higher degree than he does. Or you have an advanced degree and he doesn't. Are you sure you're the one who married down? Huh. I think the best way for us to judge it, and there's no real data on this, is where do both of y'all go when y'all get divorced? Just because you remarried, and he remarried, right? Or you remarried and he didn't, did you marry up again? Or did you finally marry up and he didn't? It's the best way to judge it, right? Up, and y'all messed up right there. And M. Hawkins says women fought for equality outside the home and not in relationships. Well, the math don't math. You can't have one and not the other. You're bad. That's the problem. You can't have one without the other. Imagine fighting for equality out the home, being men's competition for work in the workforce, and then turning around, walking in the door of the house, and then demanding that your husband still earns more than you when you literally just outcompeted somebody else's husband for that promotion. How in the hell? Where the math? Go ahead. Someone tell me how to math. You opened up the workforce for women to have degrees and have the C-suite and get advanced degrees and be valedictorians and right out compete and out earn men potentially, and then when you do, you go back home expecting and demanding that somehow magically the men that you desire still earn more than you and of higher rank than you and have more status than you. And when the math doesn't math, then you throw a goddamn temper tantrum and lie to yourself and say, well, white women get to have it and do it. Not necessarily. Once again, 40% of women earn more than their male counterparts. That's not just black women. Right? N.M. Hawkins says, yes, he still needs to earn more than N.M. Hawkins. I would suggest to you and other women in general, go home. Quit your jobs today. Go home. The math don't math. The math don't math. That's the problem y'all are having right now. The math doesn't math. Shout out to, now this is an all woman thing. The math doesn't math. I want to be the white capitalist, rich white man, racist white man's wet dream. Enter the labor force, double the labor force so that this rich white dude can pay all his employees less because all of us are fighting for these positions and these jobs. Then magically, I want to still end up with a rich white man, preferably my boss. What? And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Didn't they went to the U.S. Supreme Court to get married a white man, to marry a white man, but they rewrite on black men and civil rights leaders at the U.S. Supreme Court for white women. Yes, Loving versus Virginia. Yes, yes. And you let black women talk. You let black women talk long enough, they're gonna speak as if, and y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. They're going to speak as if, right? It's. I'll just say your last name, Mr. Harold. Thank you for the cash app, Mr. Harold. Thank you for the cash app. Right? You let black women talk, they're going to speak like, what is it? Black men were talking black and sleeping white, as if so many black women throughout the civil rights movement weren't having sex with white men. And then, as the civil rights movement on paper came to a close, didn't marry white men. Huh? Didn't have sex with white men. Weren't in relationships with white men. Black men talk black and sleep white. Everything they did in the civil rights movement was to get next to white women, to have the white man's trophy. How many black women had the white male member jumping up and down their goddamn throat? Crickets. Huh? How many black women were to jump off for white hippie men during that whole free love movement? Oops. Huh? How many black women, actually, let's be honest, how many black women didn't even want to look or touch a white man because white men were harassing them and touching on them and grabbing on them because other black women made white men feel like black women are their property and their little sexual playthings? Huh? Y'all want to talk about light-skinned black women? How many light-skinned black women don't want to see a white man because how they came about? Oozy, ooh. Finding out that their mom was their dad's little dirty secret. Oozy, ooh. Let me say that again, just in case y'all try to remix that. Finding out their black mom was their white dad's dirty little secret. Huh? Eddie James went, goddamn, Z. Oh. Whoopsie. Huh? So, watching black women rewrite this history just so they can appeal to rich white men by sounding racist about black men is fascinating. Right? And then lying and putting it under the guise of telling the truth and telling my truth and telling our truth and telling black women's truth. Black women's truth is lies? Or rewriting black history? That's what black women's truth is? Right? And B.R. Charles says, no, ADOS needs reparative justice. No, according to black women, no, black women don't need, and the black community, black men definitely don't need reparative justice. They just need white penis in their life. The black community, namely black women, just need white penis in their life and they'll be okay. And according to Paris Milan, black men don't get reparations if you're married to a black woman. If you're married to a white woman, you don't get reparations. If you're a passport bro, you don't get reparations. If you listen to the Black Manosphere, you don't get reparations. If you contribute to the Black Manosphere, if you're a content creator like Z, even though I'm a child of immigrants, if you're ADOS, you don't get reparations. What else did she say you don't get reparations for? If you're a rapper and you ever called a black woman a B or an H, you don't get reparations. So yeah, right. So my apologies, Mr. Charles, Mr. Br Charles. Yeah, black. Y'all don't need reparations, right? ADOS FBA do not need. Yeah, I don't need reparations. Oh, Michael Ross says they're their own race. Z, true. Yeah, and that's and if we're gonna call a thing, uh, Mr. Michael Ross, that's pretty much what Black women have been really fighting for since the end of the civil rights movement, right? I think, and like let's just walk through this, especially when you look at what Kimberly Crenshaw did with intersectionality, right? She codified it because Black women were already there. They just needed the term and the word for it, and intersectionality was it. That's what they really tried to do with intersectionality. Now it didn't really work. White people played in their faces and pretended like they actually believed this crap. But that's all Black women really did with intersectionality is really try to codify them being separate and above Black men by using intersectionality to say, well, I'm Black plus woman, which means I come from two intersecting, oppressions, right? It's two and three intersecting oppressions. I am Black plus woman. I am Black plus woman and LGBTQ. And so I am separate than Black men who still get to play on the fact that they're men to lessen the brunt of white supremacy, white colonialism, white aggression, never mind social dominance order. But yeah. And so this is Black women trying to distance themselves from Black men and everything that comes with being Black men and associated with Black men, right? And we see that, we see this right now. We literally see this with this wig and hair texture conversation that Black women are engaging in right now, right? Hard wig, soft life. This, if you look at the comments, you will see Black women throwing Black men under the bus to attempt to appeal to rich white men. And that lets you know that Black women understand exactly what they're doing. Black women think and feel that most, if not all, white men are anti-Black, particularly anti-Black men. They understand that white men are racist as crap. They understand that Latino men are anti-Black as crap. They get it. So their appeal to these men is by throwing Black men under the bus and saying, hey, unlike you, Mr. White Man, Black men aren't real men. They care about these shallow things like Black women's hair texture. They make fun of Black women in their hair. They make fun of Black women wear wigs because Black men make us feel insecure. Unlike you, Mr. Man, Mr. White Man, right? Grinch said this nigga said hard wig, soft life. That's the movement, Grinch. That's what they saying. Hard wig, soft life. And if you watch the videos and if you read through the comments, it is Black women throwing Black men under the bus. Grinch, you imagine this? Black women are saying Black men are the reason why they feel certain type of way about their hair, and that's why they be wearing these wigs. That's why they relax their hair. That's why they blow out their hair. That's why they straighten their hair. Because Black men, not them trying to appeal to white men, not them trying to get a job at the white man's corporation or the white man's firm or the white man's institution, not them trying not to be offensive to white men. Black women do all this stuff to soften and straighten their hair because that's what Black men like. Oh, the rewriting of history, y'all. The rewriting of history, y'all. Black women are in Black men's faces, straight up lying. Literally, a couple years ago was story after story of Black women at their jobs being harassed by white people, that includes white men, about their hair. And Black women turn around, not even a decade later, saying Black men have a problem with Black women's natural hair. Black men have a problem with black women and their and hairstyles that come from black women's natural hair, braids and dreads and locks. Oh boy, y'all. Uh, the buzz cut, the short hair, all of that. All of this to appeal to white men, right? All of the now you got Amanda Marianne over intellectualizing white men and the white hierarchy and the white beauty standard and white hegemony and white men saying, yeah, only so many of us are going to have mixed kids with black women. Huh? And instead of Amanda Marianne being honest about that, it's this intellectualizing of the same racist, colorist, featurist, texturist system the white men and white women implement and maintain and perpetuate. But of course, one black man says one thing about a black woman's nose or her skin tone or her features, and that's the reason why black women feel insecure. And it got nothing to do with the overall dominant society, white society. Nope, don't got nothing to do with that. Nope, 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 nope. Huh? Black women working for media organizations feeling a certain way about their hair texture because of white men. But yet, one white man takes a liking to their hair and says it publicly, and all of the other white men don't matter. Anybody want to say anything about Serena Williams? Oops. And Venus Williams. Yikes. Decades being insulted by white men. A handful of white men of prominence find them attractive, and black women throw these handful of white men in black men's faces. Nobody says anything about the black men that would have drink Venus and Serena's bathwater, that find Venus and Serena attractive, that would marry Venus or Serena in a heartbeat. We watched Jamie Foxx shut down award ceremonies for goddamn Serena Williams. Not once, but twice. And black women turn around and say black men don't find black women natural features attractive, to the point where they wish this man death because he has a couple of mixed kids. This man's in the hospital, or at least when he was in the hospital, black women are out here wishing Jamie Foxx death. The same Jamie Foxx that spoke up on Serena Williams look better than any man ever has, including her own goddamn white husband. This man shut down not one, but two sports award ceremony for this black woman, very clearly black, racially unambiguously black woman. Thank you, Mr. Donnie Mac. Can I be your tennis ball? He didn't do it once, he did it twice. And black women reward this black man speaking positively about a black woman who other men, white men, were calling monkey. They reward Jamie Foxx by seeing that he was ill in the hospital and then wishing his death. Man, you can't make this up. Huh? Black men single-handedly made big and round and plump derrieres attractive and appealing single-handedly. Sir Mix-a-Lot, mystical, juvenile, genuine, and a whole host of black male entertainers single-handedly made derrieres, big, plump, round ones, attractive. And black women, all they could focus on was Diddy and J-Lo and Kanye and Kim Kardashian. You imagine? White men, white society did everything to ignore black women's shape. And black men, and what really is, in the grand scheme of things, a blink of an eye, changed that. And black women thanked black men by sticking their nose up at black men and hyper focusing on Diddy and J-Lo and Kanye and Kim Kardashian. You imagine? Right? And y'all give Mrs. Z 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Y'all give Z 1 second. But so the hair thing gets Mr. Z worked up. And as a matter of fact, let me read this before I continue. Give me 1 second. And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Didn't they win? Oh yeah, I read this already. But we'll read it again. Didn't they went to the U.S. Supreme Court to get married? A white man, Loving versus Virginia. But they rewrite on black men are civil rights leaders at the U.S. Supreme Court for white women. Of course, right? And no placeholder. Thank you for the super chat also. And no placeholder says black men are caught up in black women's inferiority towards white women. Of course. And that's what it really is. At the end of the day, that's what it really is, if we're going to call a thing a thing. Thank you, no placeholder. That's what it really is. Right? Excuse me. That's what black men are really charged with. Black men are charged with not making black women upper middle class and rich white women politically, socially, and economically. Right? And you would think, for where black men find themselves at politically, socially, and economically, look at what black men have done to the quote unquote underclass of this society. We have made the underclass of this society shape the most appealing shape. We're the ones who killed that whole slim, no shape, pencil thin thing unattractive. We single handedly did that. And yet it doesn't matter because black women want white men that bad. And y'all talk amongst yourselves. Y'all give Mr. Z 1 second. And we're back. Mr. Z's reckless streams. I'm sorry for y'all. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with. Thank you for bearing with. Right. And we're back. Y'all already know. Don't put it in the comments. Don't put it in the comments. The reckless streams. Right. So, yeah. I definitely wanted to cover this today. I think it is important. I think how certain black women are engaging in their white man chase is important. These are the people that accuse black men of throwing them under the bus and insulting them and belittling them in the presence of non-black folks as black men, I guess, attempt to appeal to non-black women. But as we can see here, even when speaking about black women and their hypergamous or their pursuit for hypergamy with white men, even in that pursuit, they feel the need to jab, to insult, to insinuate something defective about black men. They pathologize black men, and that's why I think it was important to cover this today, right? Definitely important to cover this today because we need to show that this appeal to white men will lead black women to being absolutely insanely anti-black and racist towards black men, period, hands down, point blank. Right? So all of the angst and anger that black women feel towards black men will be ratcheted up as more and more of them attempt to appeal to elite, rich white men. Because they accurately assess that these men are pretty damn racist and anti-black. And so these black women are attempting to appeal to these men by saying, look, I too can be anti-black and racist. Yes, me, a black woman. So let's be very clear. The hard wig, soft life, dry wig, soft life, trash wig, soft life movement doesn't exist in a vacuum. It is a very clear attempt at not only appealing to white men, but denigrating black men to appeal to white men. And black men have to be very careful not to put themselves in the worst positions, which is side dude, which is fall black plan to these particular black women. Right? They will take advantage of this. We have to make sure that whoever you end up with, black woman or not, is with you for you. Not that you were a consolation prize, not that you the fall black plan, not that she's a black woman, white woman, Latina woman, Asian woman that was chasing after Bartholomew the Third Brad, failed at it, and now is trying to moonwalk into you. Right? And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Shout out to Doc Ock, hysterical. Right? Hysterical. Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. Right? That was funny. But I mean, yeah, because these people are very clear. And shout out to black women for admitting it. The wigs and the cheap appeals to white men because y'all think that white men are just easier. White men are naive. It's very clear. And you see it in the comments. As I said, this is black women speaking to other black women, namely, and saying, yeah, my white men can't tell the difference between a good wig and a bad wig. That's what makes them appealing and attractive. They're not invested in black women's looks. Right? So once again, yes, these black women are attempting to frame it in pathology of black men, and black men are effeminate. That's why they care about black women's looks and black women's hair and black women's hair texture, unlike white men. But they're being very forthcoming about what they feel and think about white men. White men are not invested in how black women look. White men are preoccupied. White men don't know what quote unquote good black beauty is. Ooh, ha 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 ha. They don't know or care about black beauty uptake and upkeep better, right? Unlike black men. Ooh, right? Even when y'all try to lie, y'all telling the truth somewhat, black women, even when y'all lying out your teeth, right? Very clearly telling us what you think and feel about white men and why you're appealing to them, right? Black women, right? Very important. So this is why we're covering this today, right? New Year, and this is a trend that's been going on for a couple months, right? But New Year, and it doesn't even matter, right? Black women continuing with the BS, right? And thank you for the super chat, Detroit. Thank you for the super chat, and Michael Ross. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. All right. Huh. It's very interesting. And talking about Samantha Cooker, and then Hawkins says Samantha Cooker did a good video on this topic. Even Samantha, you don't forget, even a couple months ago, yes, Samantha Cooker, yes, that Samantha Cooker. Even she was saying, hey, it's kind of anti-black that we're willing to do all of this stuff for white men and not for black men. Even Samantha Cooker said that. Ouch. Huh? Even Succus Ray is kind of going in on black women for listening to these Chrissy types and these she didn't say their names, by the way. I'm not saying she said their names. And these Yanny types, these decenter men, these, don't get married, and why do you want to get married anyway? And she's saying, like, you know, are y'all sure? Like, these are the people y'all want to listen to? Huh? So, and she's threatening to cut these women off whenever, once, because Succus Ray comment section has the knack for whenever Succus Ray start being more honest with them, they always have the woe is me black girl stories to throw her off her game. Once she start going in on black women, they start doing the woe is me, and it's these men, these black men, and she said she could start cutting them off. She could start cutting them off, huh? Uh-oh. Jake says Amani Talks could be the new Sinji. Watch out for her, Z. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. And G says, damn, even the racists are saying they're too racist. But yes, what black women have, see, Freudian slip there, almost called them white women because that's what they want to be. Black women, particularly on social media and the internet, these content creators and their lackeys have been so, they have been so damn loud with their Nazi talk about black men. They have, the way they've sniped at black men, because these women truly feel like calling them ugly or saying they're not attractive or making fun of their weight is the same as them saying you should be aborted. Right? They act like that's the same thing. Right? Making fun of their shape or whatever, their size is the same as them saying, calling you the white man's B. Right? Or saying you're useless. You making fun of her looks is the same as her saying you're useless. Right? That's where they at with it. You calling her fat is the same thing as if you're in the hospital, her dancing on your misfortune. Her hoping you die. Right? Absolutely insane. But y'all. So Mr. Z got things to do, right? And yeah. So we reviewed this today. Shout out for y'all sticking with me through the silence, right? Y'all already know there's a reason why they call it reckless streams. Don't say it in the comments. Don't say it in the comments. So yeah. So we'll truly pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Black women, did y'all really just try to throw black men under the bus because a handful of black women with questionable wigs are married to or in relationship with white men of means? Imagine that. And Passport OG says that what chick, I think you meant white, but that white chick that was like, wow, Sinji, you're more racist than my grandpa. Wow. I didn't even know that was a thing. Wow. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. And on that note, y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all day. Y'all be careful out there. Very clearly, these people are willing to do anything and say anything negatively about black men, pathologize black men to appeal to white men, um, intellectualize their misandry towards black men to appeal to white men, insult black men and black masculinity, whatever that is to them, to appeal to white men, call black men effeminate, then turn around and call black men hypermasculine, um, to appeal to white men, anything and everything to appeal to white men, particularly white men of means. These women will ignore white men's racism, sexism. They will ignore, and as a matter of fact, forget ignore, they will encourage it. Anything to appeal to these white men of means. I say, black men, take your penis back. Don't have sex with these women. Don't be their fall black plan. Don't be their side dude. Don't be the guy that, and yeah, black women, I said it. Don't be the guy that helped them with their tire. Don't be the guy that helped them with their battery. No, if it's all about white men, and if white men are omnipotent and omniscient, then let them help you with everything in your life. Let them be your everything. They already are. And on that note, we would truly pause right there. Um, yeah, black women, if this is how we're starting or ending 2023 and starting 2024, so be it. This is sad. Yes, it is. Once again, I don't think this is sustainable, but it's one thing to appeal to white men, fine. It's one thing to appeal to white men. It's a whole different thing to throw black men under the bus to try to, to attempt to appeal to white men. And on that note, we'll truly end right there. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Look. I said rest of y'all night, rest of y'all day. Look. Toya jumping in here. Toya, I'm in and out. Catch the replay. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.